for Eala, this is more than just another match. This is the biggest stage of her professional career so far, and standing across the net is one of the toughest opponents in women's tennis today, Jessica Pegula. On Monday, Eala will step into the Mubadala DC Open final with a chance to capture her first ever WTA Tour title. But to do that, she must overcome the world number 3, a player who knows exactly how to win, exactly how to manage pressure, and exactly how to punish even the slightest mistake. This is the kind of final that could define a young player's rise. And for Eala, this moment feels like the natural continuation of a journey that has been building for quite some time. A little over a year ago, Eala and Pegula crossed paths in Miami in a match that introduced a Filipino star to a much wider tennis audience. That semi-final encounter was unforgettable. It was intense, physical, and emotionally draining. The kind of battle that tests not only skill, but mental strength and belief. Pegula won that match, but Eala earned something just as important: respect. She showed the world that she could hang with one of the best players in the game. She showed that she was not afraid of the moment, and she proved that the gap between a rising star and an established elite player was not as wide as many may have believed. Now, the rematch comes with even greater stakes. This time, there is no semifinal safety net, no second chance, no tomorrow. There's only a final, a trophy, and the chance to make history. And Eala arrives with a different kind of confidence. She is not the same player who took the court in Miami in 2025. She has grown, she has matured, she has improved, and most importantly, she has learned how to win against the best. Her career-high ranking of number 28 is proof of that progress. It is not just a number. It is a reflection of the work she has put in, the consistency she has developed, and the belief she now carries with her every time she steps on court. In an interview with Tennis Channel, Eala explained just how much she believes she has evolved as a player. "I think I would say if I compare myself now to then, I'm more well-rounded," she said. "I think I'm physically a little better. I've improved on a couple of my strokes. I would say my forehand and serve have also improved quite a bit." That is a dangerous statement for any opponent to hear, because when a player like Eala says she has become more well-rounded, it means she is no longer relying only on one strength, one weapon, or one dimension. It means she is developing into a complete competitor, someone who can adjust, survive, attack, defend, and outlast. And in tennis, that kind of growth can be the difference between a promising run and a title. For Eala, this tournament has already been a breakthrough in many ways. She has taken down some of the game's biggest names, including defending champion Leylah Fernandez, second seed Alina Svitolina, and third seed Naomi Osaka. Those are not easy victories. Those are the kinds of wins that confirm a player's arrival on the big stage. Beating one top player is a statement. Beating several in the same tournament is something else entirely. It tells the tour that you are no longer an underdog, simply trying to survive the draw. It tells everyone watching that you belong among the best. And for Eala, each win in Washington has only strengthened the belief that her ceiling is still much higher than where she stands right now. But standing in her way is a player who has seen it all. Jessica Pegula is not just another finalist. She is a veteran of these pressure moments, a player with a calm presence and tactical discipline that make her one of the most respected competitors in the sport. Pegula has already captured 2 WTA titles this year, winning in Dubai and Charleston. She knows how to handle the business and of tournaments. She knows how to find solutions when matches get tight, and she knows how to turn a final into a test of nerve. That is what makes this matchup so compelling. It is not simply youth versus experience. It is not merely rising star versus established star. It is a meeting between 2 players who have both evolved, both improved, and both arrive at this moment with something to prove. Eala wants her first title. Pegula wants her third of the season. Eala wants to show that her rise is real. Pegula wants to show that her status at the top is still secure. And somewhere between those 2 goals lies a final that can be determined by the smallest details. A strong return, a timely serve, a brave forehand, a perfect defensive stretch, or a single break point, converted at the right time. What makes Eala especially dangerous is not just her talent, but her momentum. A player who knocks out top seeds in succession carries a different kind of energy. Every victory builds confidence. Every hard-fought set adds belief. Every comeback or clutch hold reinforces the idea that perhaps this week is meant to be hers. That kind of momentum can become a force of its own. It can make a player swing more freely. It can make the court feel smaller. It can make the pressure feel like privilege instead of burden. And if there is one thing Eala has shown throughout this tournament, it is that she has not been overwhelmed by the moment. She has embraced it. That is what separates players who merely have potential from players who are ready to break through. But Pegula will not make it easy. In fact, if anything, she sounds fully prepared for a battle. When asked about the final, Pegula did not understate the challenge. She knows exactly who she is facing, and she knows the threat Eala represents. It's going to be a battle, Pegula said of the final. Alex, I'm a big fan of her. She's the future of the tour, and she's already here. That is high praise from a player of Pegula's stature. And it says a lot about how far Eala has come. When one of the best in the world calls you the future of the tour, that is not just courtesy. That is recognition. That is respect. That is proof that your name is no longer being spoken only in the context of potential, but in the context of real present-day danger. Pegula understands that Eala is not simply a young player learning on the job. She is already here. She is already making noise. She is already beating top players. And she is already forcing the tennis world to pay attention. That is why this final feels like more than a title match. It feels like a moment of confirmation. For Eala, winning this final would not only deliver her first WTA title, it would also serve as a powerful declaration that her breakthrough is not temporary, not accidental, and not limited to one dream run or one good week. It would mean she can finish the job. It would mean she can convert promise into silverware. It would mean that the player who once pushed Pegula to the edge in Miami has now returned even stronger, even sharper, and even more complete. And that is what makes this rematch so fascinating. Because the distance between those two versions of Eala, the player from Miami and the player from Washington, may be the difference between coming close and getting the job done. In elite tennis, growth is not always linear. Players evolve in layers. They improve certain shots. They strengthen their bodies. They sharpen their decision-making. They learn to manage emotions. They learn when to attack and when to wait. They learn how to turn narrow margins into wins. Eala herself acknowledged that truth. Each player is always evolving, and improvement's not a linear thing, she said. So every match is different. And I'm sure Jess has also changed so much in these 18 months. So it's going to be great. That is the mindset of a player who understands the sport deeply. She is not pretending that last year's match guarantees anything now. She is not assuming that 1 week of hot form automatically translates into a title. She knows tennis is about adjustments, adaptation, and execution in the present moment. And that kind of maturity matters. It is easy for young players to get caught up in the story surrounding them. It is harder to stay grounded and focus on the actual work required to win a final. Eala seems to understand both. She knows the significance of the moment. She knows the weight of the opportunity. But she also knows that sentiment alone will not win a match against someone like Pegula. She will need her serve to land with purpose. She will need her forehand to strike with confidence. She will need her movement to stay sharp, her defense to remain disciplined, and her mentality to stay steady even if the match swings back and forth. And there will likely be swings. That is the beauty of this matchup. Pegula brings structure, experience, and consistency. Eala brings energy, fearlessness, and upward momentum. Pegula may try to stretch points and draw errors. Eala may try to dictate with aggression and take control early. Both are capable of winning long rallies. But both will also be looking for the moment to take command. In that sense, the final is not just a test of tennis ability. It is a test of belief. Who will trust their game more when the scoreboard tightens? Who will stay brave under pressure? Who will manage the big points better? Who will own the final stages when fatigue, nerves, and expectation all begin to collide? Those answers will come on Monday. For Filipino tennis fans, this is the kind of match that carries a special emotional weight. Eala has already become a source of pride, hope, and inspiration. Every step she takes deeper into a major tournament seems to invite more attention, more excitement, and more belief from fans who have followed her rise closely. And now, With a WTA title within reach, that support may feel louder than ever. A title would not just be a personal triumph. It would also be a milestone for Philippine tennis, another chapter in the story of a young athlete carrying national hopes on the global stage. But Pegula stands in the way, and she will not simply hand over the trophy. She has too much quality, too much composure, and too much experience for that. This is why the final has the makings of a classic, a rising star on the brink of a historic first title, and a proven champion trying to reinforce her dominance. A rematch with a different feel. A player improved from the last time they met. A player still dangerous enough to stop the dream. It is the kind of final that can change how people view a career. For Eala, a win would mark the beginning of a new chapter. For Pegula, a win would further confirm her place among the elite. For fans, it promises a battle worth watching from start to finish. And for tennis itself, it is a reminder that the sport is always renewing itself, always producing new challengers, and always creating the next great storyline. Alex Eala has already done enough this week to show that she belongs on this stage. Now she has one last step to take, one last opponent to beat, one last mountain to climb. And if she can rise one more time, she will not just leave Washington with a trophy. She will leave with something even bigger. Proof that her breakthrough is real, that her game is continuing to evolve, and that the future people have been talking about is no longer far away. It is here. And on Monday, it may be ready to lift the title.